Hello, welcome to a new video. It is that time where it is time for my TBR video, and as it's Halloween I had to wear my brand new Hocus Pocus dress because I am obsessed with this and I haven't had a chance to wear it yet. So what better chance than to wear it for my October TBR because it's spooky season and I am so excited. So I of course am doing my May the TBR Be With You, which I will do first. And then I'm also taking part in Becca's Spookopolathon, which is hosted by Becca and the Books. I take part in all of the month-long readathons for Bookopolathon, and it's spooky season, so even more reason to take part. So let's go straight in with my TBR game and see what planets I got, and let's go in for the first few rolls. Okay, so we last got to Mustafa, so we are starting from there. So let's find out first what planets we're going to. 7, that's Naboo. 9, that's Kamino. 2, that's Coruscant. 0, let's roll again. 7, that's back to Naboo. And the final one, 8, Tatooine. Okay, that's pretty good, I think. Okay, so they are the planets I am using these dice this month. They're pretty. So let's go with the first roll. A 1 and a 2. That's not a good start. 1, 2, 3. Roll number 2. A 2 and a 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Roll number 3. A 1 and a 5. So 1, 2. So let's see what our first prompt is. Padme, a book by a female author. Okay, so the first planet I landed on was Naboo, and I pulled the Padme prompt, which is to read a book by a female author. This works out perfectly because the Massalong book is always going to be a female author, and it is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas for the month of October. I am really excited to have my heart ripped out again because that's what this book does to me. And then we still have 5 spaces and we have to go to Kamino next. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Roll number 4. A 4 and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Roll number 5. A double 5. Let's move straight to Kamino. And the prompt is Hunter Pole Pick. Okay, so we got to Kamino and we landed on the Hunter card, which was Pole Pick. Now I did a poll on Twitter. I did 4 emojis. And it wasn't helpful because there was 2 books that tied. So I'm going to tell you what the 4 books were. So the zombie emoji was Wranglestone. The vampire emoji is the second Amelia Fang book, which is Amelia Fang and the Unicorn Lords. The 3rd book was Bones, which is The Restless Dark by Erica Waters. And the 4th emoji was a boarded up house, which is The Keeper. So it tied between Amelia Fang and Restless Dark. So what I'm going to do to pick this, okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a virtual roll of a d20. If we get evens, it's going to be the Restless Dark, and if we get odds, it's going to be Amelia Fang. Let's see what we get. Evens. So it is going to be the Restless Dark. I'm really excited about this. I got this arc so long ago. This book came out last year. And I feel really bad about this because I love Erica Waters' stuff. I've only read Ghostwood Song, but I loved it. And I want to read more. So I'm actually kind of glad that I'm finally going to get to this book. And thank you to everyone who voted in the Twitter poll. I realised afterwards, because I've been talking about it a lot, I realised people might have thought that the vampire book was going to be Mina and the Undead. But there is a reason I put it as Amelia Fang, and you'll see that reason later. Roll number 6, and I need to get all the way to Coruscant, so another double would be really appreciated. Oh, a 6 and a 2. So the quickest way is probably to this way. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Roll number 7. That's a double 5. And Coruscant, we have Senator Palpatine, a book with politics. Okay, so I managed to roll another double 5. Like, what? Not just another double 5. But I landed on Coruscant and I got the Senator Palpatine prompt, which is to read a book with politics. And what better book to pick for this than a Star Wars book itself, and it is Rise of the Red Blade, Inquisitor Rise of the Red Blade by Delilah S. Dawson. I got sent this by Del Rey and I am so excited. The back just says, when the Jedi Order falls, an Inquisitor rises. And I love, like, learning about the Inquisitors because they are, like, pretty big in the first few series of Star Wars Rebels, which is, like, my favourite Star Wars thing ever. And they also feature in the Obi-Wan Kenobi TV show, and I'm just excited to get to know the Inquisitors more because these lightsabers are the coolest and I want one so badly. Okay, we need to get back to Naboo now. Roll number 8. A 3 and a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't think I'm getting all 5 planets this month. Roll number 9. A 2 and a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the prompt is Jar Binks, a book with comedy. Okay, so I managed to get to Naboo and I pulled the Jar Binks card, which is a book with comedy. And for this, I'm going to be reading The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. This is actually Chloe from Chloe Reads Books Patreon buddy read. So I'm very excited to read this. I have actually read The Wedding Crasher, which is technically the sequel. But I'm really excited to read this because it sounds really good and I really enjoyed The Wedding Crasher. Okay, so I literally have just counted and I have 1 roll left and I have to get a double because it is 12 spaces to Tatooine. So I have to get a double. Oh my god. That is... I feel like I need to show you. That is a double 5. What is it with the double 5s? I mean, Tatooine. I'm so happy. R2-D2, a book with a sidekick. Okay, I genuinely was considering re-rolling that final roll because what are the chances of me rolling 3 double 5s in one game? And I fully was like, they're not going to believe me. Like, what? And then I was like, do you know what? No. First off, if they don't believe me that I've actually rolled this double 5, I don't care. Like, I'm not going to give up the chance to get all 5 planets just because I'm worried what people will think. If you want to think that I somehow fixed it, go for it. But honestly, the moment I saw that was 2 5s, I mean, you can hear it. I was speechless for a second. But I got to Tatooine. And I got the R2-D2 card, which is a book with a sidekick. And for this, I'm going to be reading Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I mean, Aiden might be a bit offended about being referred to as a sidekick, but they're a fictional character. What are they going to do? But I am really excited to reread this. This is the October book for Christopher-Long. I am not actually going to be on the live shows, but I am taking part because I really want to reread this book. And also I've only ever read it once and it was all physical, and I've heard listening along with the physical book is a really good experience, so I'll be doing that with these and I'm really excited because these books are amazing and I cannot wait. Okay, so that was my May the TBR Be With You. Obviously also taking part in Becca's Spookopolathon, so I have already done my rolls for that as well because just makes life easier. So let's go into that. Okay, so my chopper pin is on go, so let's see what my first roll is. A 1 and a 2. 1, 2, 3. That's small book. Okay, so for my first roll, I landed on the small book prompt, which is to read a book that's less than 300 pages. And at first I was thinking, oh, what graphic novels or comics have I got? But then I realised there's a book that was on my list of what I wanted to try and get on my October TBR, which is less than 300 pages. And it is You're Not Supposed to Die Tonight by Kaylin Bayron. So this is 228 pages. I'm so excited to read this. I've heard very good things, mainly from Ash and Siobhan, and I am very excited because I trust both their judgment. Roll number 2. It's a 6 and a 2. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's Spoopy. Next, I landed on Spoopy, which honestly, I was so hoping I would land on this because I had the perfect book. And that is Amelia Fang and the Unicorn Lords by Laura Ellen Anderson. And this is why this was the book that was on the poll, because I was like, oh, maybe I can double up my book. But no, it didn't work. But luckily, this is like a very easy middle grade to read. So it's not too bad that this has been added to my TBR. Roll number 3. Is a 3 and a 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the Are We Out of the Woods Yet? Next up, I landed on the Are We Out of the Woods Yet square, which is to read a book set in the woods or forest or a rural country isolated location, or a book with trees on the cover. So for this, I don't think I've stretched it at all. I'm going to read Long Live the Pumpkin Queen by Shea Earnshaw. Now, if you have watched, like, there's no, like, trees or anything that I can see. However, if you have seen Nightmare Before Christmas, you know that they live just by some, like, forest or woodland. Because there is the circle of trees where he goes into the Christmas tree where Santa... And then there's also the Easter Bunny tree and everything. So there's a forest very close to their town. And it is also an isolated town because it's Halloween town. So yeah, I'm very excited to read this. And I'm really glad I'm getting it on my TBR because October. Roll number 4 is a 1 and a 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's Black Cat. Next up was the Black Cat. Now, I was really hoping to land on one of the reds, but I was actually hoping to land on the Crows or Ravens because of a book that I want to read in October. But it didn't happen, and I was trying to find books on my list that had a black cat on the cover, or a cat on the cover, or a cat in the story, and none of them did. So instead I've gone for the easy route and done a manga, and it is Flying Witch Volume 1 by Chihiro Ishizuka. But look, there's a cat on the cover, and it's a manga, so it's gonna be easy to add to my TBR. And then is this my last roll? Yes, a 6 and a 3. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Becca. And then my final roll, I got no doubles. How did I go from my TBR where I like to get doubles and I got 3, to this one where I don't want to get doubles and add more books and I got none? Like, October was kind to me. I'm not about to be kind to me after I've shown you this last book because I'm going to explain that in a second. But for the final one I landed on for Spookopolathon was Becca, which kind of worked out perfect because I was looking at the books that I already had on my TBR, and Becca has given all of the Throne of Glass 5 stars. So I'm going to read the Assassin's Blade. It works out perfectly because that's already on my TBR. So... yeah. So now that I've gone through all of my 2 TBRs, this is why I'm about to not be kind to myself, because as well as all of these, I've got 5 others that I would like to get to, but they are not, if I don't get to them, I don't get to them. Like, it's not the end of the world. So first up, Wranglestone by Darren Charlton. I've had this book for so long. I was honestly so hoping I would land on the TBR veteran square on Spookopolathon because I've had this for so long and I haven't read it. But this is like top of the list of, if I complete my TBR, this is the top of the list of books I want to read next. Then we have All That's Left in the World by Eric J. Brown. I really want to read this soon, but also the author is going to be at Yalk in November, so I kind of want to read it before then, so that if I like it, I can go get it signed. Although it is already signed. We'll see. I still want to read it. Then we have one that I've had for ages. It was on my recommendation video last week, and it is Mina and the Undead by Amy McCall. I really want to read this. It sounds incredible and right up my street, and I'm hoping I can get to it this October. Next, we've got Horseman by Christina Henry. I am really excited about this because I've never read a Sleepy Hollow retelling, and I love that movie. So kind of want to read the retelling. Also, I love Christina Henry's books, and I've been waiting for this to come out in paperback for so long, and then I got it a few months back and I haven't read it yet. Shocking, I know. And then the final book is The Keeper. I really want to read this. It's like a middle grade, like horror-y type book, and that's like right up my street, so I'm hoping I can get to this. On top of that, I am also doing my next vlog for the So and So Made Me Do It. October's month is going to be Ash. I'm very excited. One book in particular I am very excited for. I'm not going to tell you what the books are, but one of them is to do with Critical Role. I'm very excited because it's about my favourite characters. But yeah, I am going to be doing that vlog probably the first week of October. But we'll see. I am also going to be kind of taking part in the Magical Hopathon, which is hosted by Rachel Kerris. I really like the bingo board, and I'm going to try. It is a week-long readathon, and there are rules on like doubling up, and I think I've managed to complete all but one prompt with books I already have on my TBR, but we're going to see how that goes. I will probably put on my Instagram and Twitter and that, but I will also be telling you in my vlog what I read for that. But I'm very excited because Disney. But yeah, that is my TBR for October. Why am I doing this to myself? Why? I can tell you why. Because I want to read all these books. But let me know in the comments below if you are taking part in any readathons in October. I will not be taking part in any more than the ones I've already said. But it would be nice to see what other ones are about. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye.